Hello, Jessica. Welcome back to Unabashed You. I always look forward to our conversations.
Yes, me too. Thank you so much for having me again.
Absolutely. All right, let's get to know you a little bit more. If you could try out any job for a day, what job would it
Hmm.
be? I mean, you don't have to be qualified or whatever.
Okay.
What job would you want to try?
I mean, I probably would want to try being a vet just because I love dogs, but I'm not good with anything like medical. And like, I would not be okay with if a dog was, it was like the end of their life. But if I could just help dogs, and I'm not really into cats, as long as it was only dogs, I mean, I could help cats too, I guess. But I would want to try that just because I love dogs so much.
Right. And you guys just got a dog not too long
Yes.
ago. Right. Okay, very
Yeah, we adopted a dog from the ASPCA. Her name is Melon because her like midsection, it looks like a melon. She's very cute. I love having a dog, so I'm happy to have her in
Well,
our
if you were a vet for a day, you could have the
Yeah,
tech
that's
person
true.
do the stuff you don't like,
That
and
is
you could
true.
market yourself as a dog only vet person.
Yeah.
And then you could subcontract out the end of life stuff because now there are all
Oh,
these companies that's all they do.
that's true. That's smart.
There
Okay,
you
I'll think
go.
about
There
that.
you go. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, the best trip you've ever been on.
Okay, so this was a hard one because I loved our honeymoon, but it was not to an like exotic place. We went to Newport, to Cape Cod, and to Nantucket. It was just very relaxing, and we ate so much good food, and it was just a great vibe. We didn't do any tourist things. But we also did go to, and I went with my husband one of the times to Australia to
Oh,
visit my sister who was living there at the time and my brother-in-law. And that was amazing. And we also went on a separate trip while we were there. We went to a place called Hamilton Island, which was this island off, I guess, Sydney is where we were. And that was just amazing.
Hamilton Island. It kind
Yeah.
of rings a little bit of a bell. It sounds very interesting.
Oh yeah, you should check it out. You just have to know that there are a lot of bats there for some reason, which we were surprised about at night when we were like driving in a golf cart around. It was a little scary.
And you've been more than once to Australia,
Yes.
it sounded like.
So my sister studied abroad in Australia when she was in college. So I went with my parents to visit her during that time, and then got to go back with at the time he was my fiance. He had just proposed to me. So I was asking him, like, can we go to Australia and visit my sister and brother-in-law there? And he kept saying like, oh, let's see, let's see. And I was like, why won't he go to Australia? And I like couldn't understand why. It was because he was going to propose to me and was
Oh,
spending money on that. But we did end up going, and it was so fun. I mean, they have ice cream and coffee, so like,
oh,
what's better than that?
gee, goodness. Oh, that sounds like quite the treat. My goodness.
Yes.
Moving on to the next question, and
Okay.
this is so interesting because Jess has been on a couple times before, so I have to like change the questions to continue to get to know her. You
Yeah.
can have three people over for dinner, living or dead. Who are they?
So I kind of picked two. I think I picked two for like my daughter. I would want my daughter also at this dinner. Amelia Earhart, just because I wanted to know like what happened to her.
What
Where did she go?
happened? Exactly.
Yes. And then also, and because she's a strong woman who is doing something that at the time, a lot of women were not doing. And also Cleopatra for the same reasons.
Ooh.
But then I would also be selfish and pick the lead singer of The Cure, Robert Smith, just because I have loved The Cure for so long, and I just want to talk to him. He seems like an interesting guy. But I would definitely want my daughter there to like meet these strong women, and Robert Smith would be for me.
Oh my gosh. Well, that is so selfless of you to come up with a couple for your daughter.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I know. I don't know if this was really the case if I would do that in person, but
Yeah. No,
that was my first
hey,
thought.
yeah, exactly. And you got to go with that.
Hmm.
What is one thing you are proud of?
Um, I think my kids are definitely something that I'm most proud of. Just being a mom is it's hard, but it's, rewarding, and I just love them so much, and I just want them to be happy and succeed, and I want things to be easy for them, which sometimes, sometimes that's not the best thing, like, because I want them also to go through experiences, but I'm just most proud of them because they're amazing.
Yeah. Well, and certainly those of us who follow you on Instagram, we get to see them,
Yeah.
and they both just seem like such great little individuals.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll get to meet them one day. I would enjoy that.
Yes, yes. They love being on Instagram, which is probably a problem, but they're not going to have their own accounts anytime soon.
No. What's at the top of your bucket list?
I mean, when my husband and I talked about going to Italy for our 10th anniversary for being married, but that is this year, so I don't think that's going to happen, but I would love to do that with my husband. Yeah, soon. So hopefully soon.
Well, good. And it's doable. You're on the East Coast, so
Yeah.
it's not nearly as far. And
No, yeah.
if you've been to Australia a couple times, Italy must just not seem that far away at all. My goodness.
That is a good point. Yeah, just need to save up for that and get someone to babysit my kids for
That was my next question was, do you have, our grandparents around, or, where you
yeah,
have to, like, you've got them a couple days, you've got them a couple
yeah,
days, and so, yeah, you got to get all that organized.
yeah,
I,
that could definitely happen. And
oh,
my in-laws have offered for something for September, but we did not plan well for this year with that. So we'll do a smaller trip.
yeah. Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Well, and or September seems like a good time to go places because it
Yep.
doesn't seem as crazy as June, July, August,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. One day.
There you go. And how about a quote that's inspiring you these days?
Oh, so there is an account that I follow, and I was trying to remember a quote from this. Let me find one, but it's called, I think, Mentality Way, and it just has these great, oh, here we go. This is a friendly reminder. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. So this is another account that I follow. That's a dose of reminders. But I think just being an individual is really important, and just kind of standing out, like especially on social media, I'm always thinking about that. And being authentic, I think, is what
Mhm.
is really important and what I want to be aligned with right now.
Right. Well, absolutely. My goodness. And I don't think there is anybody like you out there.
Oh,
I
thank you. I appreciate that.
no, I really am drawn to how authentic you are.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
and we've had you on a couple times, and I think that's part of it. You're authentic, you're game, you've got that can-do spirit. I just think it's just fantastic.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much.
Yes. All right. We're doing the Superpower series, and kind of for fun, who
Yep.
is your favorite superhero and why?
Okay. I had to look some up.
I
I know
know.
I'm aware of them because my son is obsessed with Marvel and Spider-Man, and I have to read all the like Hulk stories and like that. Yeah, he's obsessed
Yeah.
with Hulk as well. But I think Storm was a good one because she controls the weather, and I feel like the weather really scares me right now. And like if I could get, basically reverse global warming and also not have all these crazy storms, that would be great. And she also is fighting for peace and equality. So
Right.
yes, I just learned that recently. So I think she has like cool like gray hair, and she's played by Halle Berry in like the X-Men movies. Um, so yes, I would pick her. I think, I mean, the second was probably Wonder Woman, but I felt like that was too cliche, so I didn't go with her.
And
Hmm.
I feel like I love that you have no problem going against the grain. You're like,
Hmm.
no, I don't, it's gonna be an obvious answer. I gotta go elsewhere.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Thank
Love
you. Who
that.
would you pick?
Well, I wrote about this and I went with the I went with the cliche, not because she was the cliche, but I
Yeah.
did some research
Uh-huh.
and I kind of like sort of dove a little more into her. And then I just thought, I really like the Gal Gadot version,
Yes.
that movie. And I
Yeah.
just thought, okay, if I have to be, I can do the Gal Gadot version
Yeah.
of Wonder Woman, and the way that she was described, curious, strong. I mean, all these things that I like too. And so that's what I went with. That's what I
Yeah.
went with. Yeah, very
Makes
good.
sense.
Yeah, it does. Okay, now going into like human superpower, because I think you and I would probably agree that we all have some kind of a superpower. What do you think your superpower is?
So I asked my husband about this too, what he thought. But I think I am a good connector with like when I've been meeting a lot of people in my area, especially like this past year or so, I'm always like, "Oh, you need to meet this person. This person needs to meet you." And I've been told that as well by someone new that I did meet. So I think that, but then what my husband said, which I appreciated, was that I'm able to easily get over things, but
Ooh.
I think part of that is I forget about them too. So, but whatever, I'm still able to move on from things and like start a new day kind of like with a blank slate, um and just do better the next day or try to do better the next day. It doesn't always work, but
No,
that's
what
what I'm going
does?
for.
Yeah, what does always work? Okay, so your answer for how you see your superpower, a connector, and
Yeah.
keep your husband said,
Hmm.
I guess adaptable or flexible or
Yes.
to that effect. The
Yeah,
fact that you
definitely.
can easily move on and the next day you're
Hmm.
it's fresh. It's totally
Hmm.
fresh. So how do you know that's your superpower, the connecting, because it comes so naturally to you because you want to do it?
Yeah, I think that's automatically what I think of. If I meet someone new, either if it's like job related or I just think someone would get along, that's just like what will pop into my head first. Like just like, oh, this person would totally get along with this person, like, or they can work together somehow. So that's just kind of what I think of when I meet someone new.
Right, so it's automatic. And
Yeah.
I'm guessing too that there's something in that you enjoy it and it's a passion and you feel good.
Yeah.
And that's another selfless thing I would say about you is that you're thinking of the greater good instead of like, how might this benefit me if I connect this person to this person? That's not even in the equation. You're just like,
Right.
oh, this person likes that, and that person, oh, they might be able to connect and be able to do more together.
Yeah, I also like helping people, so that's probably plays a part in that as well. And that's kind of why I got into direct sales originally, just because I want to help other people be better or feel better or just or have things go easier for them. So a lot of times I think I do put other people above maybe myself or my family when I shouldn't. So it also is a negative thing as well, I think.
Right. Well, yeah, there's always the flip side, right?
Yes, yes.
Always the flip side. How do you think somebody might be able to find their superpower? Do you think there is a way that we can each sort of determine what ours is?
Yeah, so actually, I worked with my friend who I mentioned before, who is a happiness coach. And there
Ooh.
was an exercise that I did with her, and it was to find your strengths. So,
Ah,
yeah, so I could find out what that exercise was. I don't know exactly what it was called, but that, or even like when I've interviewed previously, they have like had me do, like the Myers-Briggs kind of
right.
like thing. I've done that. in a job interview as well. So I think though, if you don't know what your strengths are, like that's a good way to figure it out, because sometimes it's different than what you think too. And sometimes people view you differently than how you think you're being viewed, which with that, when I had the job interview, there were some things I'm like, oh, like that's what people think of me. That I was surprised about. So I think that's a way that you could do it.
Right, sort of the way someone else sees you versus how you see yourself
Yeah.
can be very different.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to share with you what I think your superpower is.
Oh, I like
Yes,
this.
I know,
Okay.
isn't that fun? So
Yeah.
anybody that I feel like I know on, I feel like, Jess, you have the strongest entrepreneurial spirit of just about anybody I've ever come across.
Oh,
You
thank you.
are always coming up with things that you are passionate about, that you find value in, that you want to share with us. And again, I guess you could think of that as connecting, but
Yeah.
I feel like you take this initiative to make this thing a reality.
Thank
You
you.
like you see something that's good and you're like, okay, how can I get involved with this? And I got to let people know how
Yep.
great this thing is, and I got to get the word out. And I feel like that is what I see as your superpower.
Well, thank you. That's very nice.
Oh yeah. I mean, I just I'm having fun with this, more fun than I mean, I thought, well, that's kind of a different thing to have a superpower series. And it has just
Yeah.
been, it has not disappointed. It's been an absolute blast. Is there anything that you feel like we didn't get to cover that you wanted to talk about?
Um, I don't think so. I think we covered mostly everything. Yeah, we even covered my dog. So yeah, I think we're good.
Yes. And your dog, okay. Do you have two dogs or one right now?
No, one. We had one, a Boston Terrier who passed away like probably 2 years ago now.
Okay.
So yeah, we got this dog, I think around 2 months ago. I could be totally wrong. So yeah, we were kind of, my husband was ready to get one. His dog, that was his dog that passed away, Ava. So when he was ready, and he's also the one who takes care of the dog most. So when he was ready is when we were all ready to get a dog, because I would get a dog anytime. So yeah, and the kids would too.
Right. Oh, that's so wonderful. And then you feel like your home life feels a little more complete having
Yes, I
a,
think so.
a
Yeah.
dog around. Oh, that's
Yes.
great. Yeah. Well, we currently have our golden retriever.
Oh,
For some reason, we just love that breed. They're just
yeah.
so sweet and happy and all of that. And she's been this is our third one. So
Oh,
we didn't have them together, but just, sort of a little bit one after the other.
yeah,
Anyway, dogs are wonderful. I know
they
what you
are.
they
I
are.
had a golden retriever growing up too, named Toby.
Oh,
Yeah. What's your dog's name?
Layla.
Oh,
Yeah,
cute.
sort of after the Eric Clapton song. I love that song growing up.
Oh, very
Yeah,
cute.
yeah. And Melon is the name of your dog.
Yes, Melon. Yeah.
And we were chatting about that, if you were a vet, how you could they do have end of life companies. I mean, literally.
Yeah, they like come to your house, right? And they like,
Yes,
yeah,
yes. And we've had to do that. And it
yeah,
is just such a great way to go.
yeah,
It seemed like
yeah,
a sweeter send off than
yeah. The vet was
taking
not
them down to
fun
the
with,
vet,
no,
especially if your
no.
dog didn't like going to the vet,
Right.
you know,
That's true.
it's already a traumatic experience.
I know it is. It's like the worst thing ever.
Oh, so sad.
Yeah.
Well, I see in the background, I'm pretty sure I see Keith's book back there. Yes.
Oh yes, Keith's book is back here. This is all of his stuff too, that he has on during his calls, since I'm sitting on his at his desk.
Right. And
And of course this thing from McDonald's, I forget what its name is, but this like famous artist made these like chicken nuggets. And like it was an adult Happy Meal.
oh, how fun.
So this very entertaining, and my son comes in here all the time and just plays.
Oh, that's fun. And just remind us of the name of Keith's book. Might as well, it's a children's book and the name
Yes,
is
the Sparkly Bun,
The
and his name
Sparkly
is Keith
Bun.
Stoeckeler. Yep, and you could get it
Okay.
on Amazon.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You can pretty much get any book on Amazon,
Yeah,
which is a good thing.
that's true.
Well, thank you, Jess,
Thank
and
you.
I'm so excited we got to connect again. Connect. That's your
Yes.
superpower, connecting, and
Yep.
it's always a joy. It's such a pleasure to have conversations with you.
You too. Thank you so much for reaching out. I was so excited to chat again.